All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your final lecture for this unit. This is our overview of everything we've done so far. Um, Basically, what I'm looking for is that you guys have taken your maps, your little pictures that we've created with the different geographic regions, and you're able to label and name each one of these colonies. You should be able to look at a map and connect the pieces, and that's what's on your study guide. You have the opportunity to practice that map. And then obviously on the assignment that I've included and attached on this, we give an overview of the legacies of each of these three geographic regions. So let's go ahead and break down the geographic regions as they are on our storyline. The New England colonies, you should be able to look at the map and label them. So out to the right on the boxes, go ahead and try to label those out without using any other help you got. And then hopefully you can pause it right here. And when you have done that, try to list them. If you are more of a bullet point person, write out all the colonies that fall under New England. So go ahead and pause now. Welcome back. You should have come up with your New England colonies, being Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. And those colonies are a huge part of our story, and that was kind of what we reviewed today, and that you need to be reviewing for your test. Key thing for me, what I care about, is that they're characterized by Puritan religious values. All of these colonies have Puritan connections. Even the Pilgrims, when they came over and they set up Plymouth, that all that land belonged to the Puritans of Massachusetts Bay in 1630. So everything is influenced by the Puritans. They have fishing and shipping and trade. They do not live off the land. They survive off the land with what they call subsistence farming. But beyond that, as far as economics go, look at all the major cities around. They're all along the coastline, and they're along waterways that define that region. And that's how they survive. It's how they make do. So anyway, you definitely have to connect with those, and you must remember how they're characterized by. As far as the colonies, their legacies, that's the next phase in the story. New England has given us so much. We are connected to it more than any other thing. As far as the geography of the East Coast, their first written governing document saying we will be self-governed, and it set the tone, and the Mayflower Compact did that. The Pilgrims brought that to us. The first form of republic governing, where everybody voted for their leadership from the governor on down through the council. They were chosen by the adult men that were participating in church. So that was the first republic system, and we still pledge allegiance to it every day. First public schools in America. These people believed that all their children should read the Bible, so the Puritans brought all these great things. And even the Puritans that didn't want to stay in Massachusetts, they went further south and went to Connecticut, and ultimately created a way to have our first written constitution, set the standard for protecting people's rights. And then Roger Williams headed to Rhode Island and set up a way for the church and the state to exist together but not be governed and controlled by one another. And so those are all revolutionary concepts. Those are big deals. With regard to the middle colonies, same thing. Go ahead and look at your boxes, fill those in, write your list, and see if you can't put it together without looking at anything else. Go ahead and pause the video. Welcome back. I hope you were able to come up with your list of middle colonies. New York, its stepchild, New Jersey, and then the big Pennsylvania with its stepchild of Delaware. And remember, these colonies needed each other, but the big ones were the key. The New York and Pennsylvania, they are the trendsetters. They're the ones that people follow, and they're characterized a lot by the fact that they were the breadbasket colonies. A lot of cash crop of grain, all that good stuff came out of there. Diverse ethnic groups, shipping and trade, great farmland for growing grain. And these colonies are still defined by their diversity and defined by their legacy of wealth and power and authority. But the middle colonies, again, had a lot to offer us, and I hope that you've kind of connected with those pieces. As far as their legacy goes, the middle colonies brought large cities, diverse populations, and have still set the mark for the trade and commerce of our country. Their toleration is huge. The fact that they had a stable economy and they were the most wealthy of the colonies. They grew the fastest because of their diversity and because of their steady ability to have a continual income. And then lastly, obviously, the religious toleration that William Penn and the Quakers brought, essentially trying to bring a utopia to America, creating the Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, and it did make that stand and was that shining beacon of what people were looking for. Um, and that brings us to our southern colonies, and this should be pretty easy. So go ahead and look at the boxes, try to fill them in without any help, and make your list of colonies and work from the biggest to the bottom, and then the two in the middle, and then the little tiny one on the edge. Should be pretty easy. Go ahead and pause the video. Welcome back. You should have come up with Maryland and Virginia and North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia. And these colonies are completely defined by their lack of cities, large plantations, slave labor, and their cash crops of rice, indigo, and tobacco. I mean, this was about money, this is about land, and you can just see all the space that there is to grow that stuff. The New England colonies didn't have that. They didn't have the land, they didn't have the climate. They have to live different lives, and that those differences are definitely going to play a role in the shaping of our country. The legacy of the Southern colonies is pretty straightforward. First representative form of government, Virginia House of Burgesses in 1619. And we're talking 12 years from the time the first colony was created. We had a representative house of self-governing colonists. That's pretty cool. Military buffer against Spain was Georgia. I mean, it basically kept Spain from moving north and controlling the East Coast. This was our statement of this is ours with regard to the English. And then obviously a law about toleration in Maryland. That was a huge deal, and the people needed to have a place to come. It was a safe haven where laws dictated everybody's treatment of each other, and Maryland offered that. Didn't include Bacon's Rebellion. It will be part of our story and our legacy, but I'm not going to ask you to know it on this test. Which leads us again to your colonies. Now, these are the eventual size of the original colonies. What we've seen up to this point is all of this space right here because of the Appalachian Mountains. Eventually, when the French and Indian War is fought, these are the actual boundaries that get created. But you should be able to look at these and identify each one. Point to it, know what it is. Point to it, know what it is. What is it? What is it? Name it. What is it? Name it. What is it? What is it? What is it? You have to know what these colonies are by name, what they are, where they're at. Understand that map is what you're going to see on the test. So, good luck, study hard, and I can't wait to see how you do.